slaps true.
What up, y'all? It's your boy Duse Beatz coming at you live from the Duse Podcast. Make sure to hit that like. Make sure to hit that subscribe for me one time. And today in the building, I got an entrepreneur. She's been doing her thing for a long time in the hair industry. A dope cosmetologist and my friend. I had to get a woman this time to rock with me. So guess who's in the building today? KARIZMA Stylez. What's up, KARIZMA?
Yo, Deuce, what's up? Thank you so much for having me. It's definitely a pleasure to join you on your podcast.
Oh, no, it's a pleasure having you. You know, how's your day going today?
Ooh, so far so good. It's the second day of spring. You know, I rose with some gratitude, and I'm ready to start this day abundantly. You feel me?
I feel you. So look, I want to start from the beginning. You know what I mean? I want to take it back because you're from Hawthorne, right?
Yes. Okay. You're all the way back. Okay.
Yeah. So, you know, back in the days, how was young KARIZMA as a kid?
That's very interesting that you would ask that, and nobody's asked that, dude. So, I was born in Oakland, California. Let's not get that twisted. That's where my family resides. I am a Bay baby at heart, right? But yeah, I did. I grew up in Hawthorne, California. There wasn't a lot of people who looked like me. Okay. However, all the friends that I have, well, most of the friends that I have back then, I still have now.
Right.
But little me, I don't know. That's a good question. I was a smart kid. I got good grades. I always showed up at school. I was very well taken care of. I was also loyal. You know, I ran braiding the church lady's hair, and then once I got my hands on some Kanekalon braiding hair, it was on. I was able to, you know, do my own hair. So for me, as far as little April in Hawthorne, in the industry that I am in now, that is how I can relate it.
Oh, crazy. That's crazy. And so you said you moved from Oakland. What year did you move from Oakland?
Interesting. Okay. So I was born in Oakland. I was there for maybe like, let's just say up to 4 years, from what I was told. And then I lived in Killeen, Texas. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So preschool, kindergarten, first and second grade, little me was in Killeen, Texas, living my best life. It was very diverse out there. I had all the friends. I just remember it like yesterday.
Right.
So 1992, we get up, we leave. My mama died. We moved to Hawthorne, Nevada, and my mom had a sister who lived there. So that's what brought her there. And yeah, it was very much so life-changing. I will say that was something that was very pivotal in my life because it was more of a culture shock. Moving to Hawthorne, it was not only like the desert and there was only like one of everything. It was really, not a lot of people look like me. There wasn't anything around. And, you know, I had to adjust. That was my new home. It was what it was. And just like I adjust and I adapt now, I remember doing that since 1992.
Wow. And so let me ask you this. Moving to Hawthorne, it was a culture shock. Did you deal with anything pertaining into, you know?
All right. So if you want, okay. So like how it was for me, my mom had a friend and well, she had her sister and they had a few friends. Okay. So they was Black, right? So there was a few daughters. So I do have, you know, I have a best friend today and her name is Ebony. She doesn't live here in Reno with me. But since then they was like, here, go over there. That's your friend. So when I moved there it was like August. So right before school starts, that was somebody like, ooh, I have a friend, you know, her name is Ebony. And then I had another little friend across the street and her name was Nikita. So between the two, those are the friends that look like me. Right. And those were only two that I had in my life. So with that being said, I don't really like highlight or, you know, dwell or remember or focus on anything that doesn't serve me as far as my mind goes, because that's something I worked on. Right. But if I would force myself to remember, there would be like questions people had because, you know, like, oh, you know, because I'm Black, I remember the first time I spent the night at one of my friend's house, you know, we were getting ready for bed. You know how like when you got straight hair, you got your hair up, right? You take your ponytail out, you brush your hair because you're doing 100 brushes, right? So we in the bathroom, it's three of us, two of my friends, and we have our hair up. And I take my ponytail out. Now, mind you, we use Pro Style gel. My stuff is slick. This brush, Deuce, if you know what I mean. So we ponytails out, and these two girls see that my hair didn't fall. Like, my ponytail holder could have still been in there. And they laughed, talking about rolling on the floor laughing. Like, they cracked up so hard. I have the mind now to know, like, they have never seen that before. They had no idea what is going on. What is this? I don't feel like that was traumatizing for me. I felt like I completely understood that it was what it was because, again, I had already been around a whole bunch of type of people in Texas. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't nothing for me, but I knew it was something for them. So they would ask me certain questions. I remember one time some dude was like, black girl, when I was in 5th grade, and I was all mad and I was PO'd and I yelled at him and then I cried and I ran down the hallway so I can go tell on him. And he came after me and he apologized. He was like, I didn't know that would hurt you. So that was that. But nothing that never, like, I felt like was stuck to me, or that because I looked like I looked, I wasn't able to get what I needed. You know, I always just felt like isolated. I always just felt like I was the only one because I was, and that, you know, I had to like kind of stand up for being black type of thing.
Right. And so being out in Hawthorne, right, you encounter a lot of people, and you encountered my sisters, Brandy and Randy, right? When was your first, you know, encounters with them?
Okay, so I'm glad that you asked that. And when I first found out that y'all was related, I think was at the baby shower. Randy's last baby shower. If that's what I remember, we was at the park and I was like, oh, snap, right? So Nikita, which stayed across the street from my auntie at the time, right? She had cousins that was black that didn't like live where we lived all the time. So she would talk about them, and then we knew that they would visit. So I don't actually remember my first encounter, but I just remember being excited because my cousin, my best friend Ebony, she also had cousins that would like visit, you know. So it was exciting for the family to come from somewhere else and visit Hawthorne. And so I just remember they were older. So they wasn't like really around us, but it was always good. It was like, you know, Nikita little friend here at grandma's house with us. You know what I'm saying? I called their grandma, and I called their granddaddy, and, you know, and so that's just how it was. We was family as well. So, you know, and I loved it.
And then how'd you make your way out to Reno?
Okay, so let's fast forward a little bit. Boom. So I ended up I did graduate in 2022. And before that, some stuff went down when I was growing up, and I ended up moving to California, to Merced, California for a little while while I was in high school, which was a great thing. So it was something that was negative that turned into a good thing. Boom. I shot back to Hawthorne for my senior year and graduated. And then I moved back to Merced, and then I just needed to be closer to my mom. So that's when I moved to Reno. And that was probably like 2023. Yep. And then in 2004, 2004. 2004, I moved back to Merced. And then probably like 2005 is when I moved back to Reno again. So that's when I moved to Reno. And it was just little young single mother me, right? I do say so myself. When I moved into Reno, I was always ambitious. I always wanted to, you know, do what I do. But I had factors in my life that it just wasn't time.
Right. And so when did you have your kid?
Ooh, I had okay. So if you want to get a little deep, I can give you a little bit more.
Yeah.
So I graduated high school. I moved back to Merced where I had went during high school
Okay.
because I had met my son's father. My cousin Carla was there and I had family there. So I was established there and then I moved to Reno and then I moved my mom in with me. I
Right.
moved back to Reno to be closer with my mom.
Right.
I moved her in with me on February 1st, and I found out I was pregnant 4 days prior to that. I told my mom, and then my mom passed away a month later.
Wow.
So, yeah, and then I was 19 when my mom passed away. Boom. That September, I had my son.
Wow.
And I had him back in Merced, California. And then I was just trying so hard out there, and it wasn't working. So I moved back to Reno,
Okay.
which I felt like was so much more, it was easier to navigate the waters as a single mother to do what I need to do. Right.
Right.
Mhm.
And so
Yep.
how did being a single mother change your mindset?
So for me, since my mom had passed away, I knew that I have to be strong.
Right.
There's this, I didn't want to lose my baby. You know how sometimes during grief, your mind and your body goes through so many differences that you can possibly, lose the baby too.
Right.
So for me, I knew that I had to be strong. Like I have to be here for this child. I am going to be a mother now and nothing else matters to
Right.
me. Made that decision that I'm going to give this child the best chance that I can possibly give this child the best way I know how, even with the lack of tools that I have been shown or anything of that nature. I know that I'm going to do my best.
Right.
So the moment that my mom passed away while I was pregnant, I knew I had a choice. Either I was going to grieve my life away or I'm going to move forward and make every moment count.
Wow. That's so strong of you because a lot of people can't move on from that, and it's something like, especially with death, it's something that you never get out. It's never out of your system. You have them feelings forever, but you just learn how to cope with them. And so like, I commend you for that. And so
Thank you.
when did you start getting into hair? Like, what was that moment when you're like, I can really do this right here?
Okay, so if I may, and I'll try to make it a little quick, there was a point in time in my life that I was out here. I'm a single mom. I had some housing, right?
Right.
I was working a little bit, but in my heart and in my soul, I was not going to stay on no housing. I was not going to be on forever food stamps. I just didn't care who I seen and what it was like. It just wasn't for me.
Right.
So then I get up, I'm ambitious. I'm about to move to Sacramento. So I call my family and my folks in Sacramento. I'm like, look, I want to come out there and this is my vision. I'm about to go to California to do hair because that's where it's at.
Yeah.
And so I get out there, I have the opportunity to I call and I'm like, this barbershop, like, oh yeah, we'll try you out, come out here, right? So mind you, I don't have any money. I don't have a car at this point. I'm taking the bus. So I scrounge up some money. I take the bus. I get to this barbershop and they looking at me and they like, okay, so where's your stuff? And I'm like, well, what stuff? Right? So I didn't know anything. I hadn't been to cosmetology school. I hadn't been shown the ropes. Like I'm literally naive and ignorant. Let's just put it that way. But I'm also very much so ambitious and I'm ready to go after it. So needless to say, I'm leaving there heartbroken. I can't believe I uprooted my whole life literally to move here. I have this opportunity to finally do some hair. And I was too ignorant to even be able to fulfill that need. So I'm defeated. I get back on the bus. I go back to that family member's house. Anyways, that year in Sacramento was hell for me. I moved back to Reno and then I'm working. I'm doing customer service. It's me and my son. I'm stable. My son finally started school. He's 3 years old. And I knew that when my son started school, I was going to sit my butt down. Wherever he came home from school, knew exactly where he was going to come. He knew he was going to have shelter, food, his mom, and everything else he needed to succeed.
Right.
So I made sure that was cool. Like 5 years later, I met who my wife is now. We got together. I ain't even know nothing like that.
Yeah.
That happened and we stayed together. Our sons was the same age. They was like a week and a half apart. We was both very much so stable. It was just similarities. And so we was like, you know what? We about to be a family. We about to raise these up, which we did. They're 19 now. And so, boom, now it's 2014. And some circumstances happen and I get fired. I get severance. I'm looking for another job. I get the job. I'm doing some customer service. I'm excelling. You get the bonus. You're on the phone,
Yeah.
center stuff. And then I get fired from that job. And I had been working there only 7 months.
Wow.
They couldn't really give me no explanation, but in Nevada, you can get rid of people.
Right.
I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. So I told Lala, like, look, I know we just moved into this new house together and, like things is shook up a little bit, but I want to go to cosmetology school.
Yeah.
Like I'm done. Nobody in their life will ever get a chance to fire me. I work hard. I ain't never been fired. I have a family to take care of, not just my son. And they fired me. And that was the feeling that I was never going to have.
Yeah.
So I was able to get to cosmetology school. I finished very quickly. Okay. Expeditiously, if I may say so myself. And I was just ready. They don't advise you to go out on a limb and rent out a booth on your own when you first start. But I knew what God had put in my heart. I knew that I had been going after this for so long. I went straight to a private suite. I went straight to a booth and I met you there. I was working in a tanning salon.
Right.
Do you hear me?
Right.
Okay. There was no Black people in there. You had people who came in to tan, and if you was in the waiting room, you was there, they was looking at you, you was looking at them, and then y'all come back there and we would do some great hair. So over the last decade, I have been able to build my brand as KARIZMA Styles. I have done so many beautiful clients, and over the years, what I've realized is that I also have a gift of helping people with their mindset.
Right.
It started with hair. So maybe you felt that your hair was ugly. Let's just be real. Maybe as a Black woman, you felt that in the corporate world, you had to have your hair relaxed. You had to have your hair straight. You could not wear it natural. You are not wearing braids. And I seen the very much so disconnect with the styles that people were getting and them feeling good on the outside, but on the inside, feeling much so if they didn't have that style, that they would be antagonized at the workplace for their hair. So I remember my very first client, the very first client I helped with their hair was very earlier on in my career. And she was asking me about a certain hairstyle and how she could wear her real hair, but she had to have it a certain way. Anyways, needless to say, she had blamed something on her husband about how he felt about her hair, but it was really her.
Right.
And I asked a series of questions, and then I was like, no, your husband wouldn't know that. So she went to tell me that back in the day, somebody said something about her hair, and now she refuses to wear her natural hair. And we got her out of that. And long and behold, over a course of time, she was wearing her natural hair. And to me, that was a better, fulfilling feeling.
Yes.
Than doing somebody's temporary hairstyle that they're going to come back and do. Right. To me, I know inside that was something that she had been dealing with for years, that now she felt comfortable and confident with her hair. So fast forward to now where we are in this decade, I am KARIZMA Styles. I am a certified life coach. I specialize in a growth mindset. Okay. Right. So we're getting out of the lack mindset, Deuce. We are getting out of the struggle mindset. Okay. We are abundant, and that's how we're going to move forward in this life. Right. You know, just as well as I do, it don't stop where we was just at. We keep going. Right. I'm so happy to see you excelling and keep going and continue to do big things. And then I look at you, interviewing. So that's why it's so important that we make sure that our mindset on the inside is just as good, if not better, than what's happening on the outside. When you leave from a session with me, you're going to feel good on the inside, not just the outside, because outside appearance is temporary. Right. And we're here for temporary results. We're here for lifetime evolution. We want to evolve. We want to grow. We want to expand our minds as long as we are able to live here on earth. And I'm here to mentor, coach, and be accountability partner for whoever comes in my way and that resonates with. Right. You hear me?
Right.
And yeah.
And you said something very interesting that I want to touch back on. You said you did not want to work again for anybody. You wanted to work for yourself. So my question to you is, what does Black entrepreneurship mean to you?
I'm going to just give you what's on my mind with that. Okay. Black entrepreneurship, it means to me personally, is that the way I grew up around really not very many people who look like me, the way we learned and the things that was put on us was always a lack in the Black community. Right. It was always that it was going to be harder for me, or I may not be able to do it, or there was always like extra challenges just besides being a human and having to work toward things. And so I felt like kind of like all my life, dude, I was waiting for some shit to not happen because I was Black.
Right.
Let me tell you what I mean by that. So now I got my license. I finally did it. I finished school. I got my license. I'm a cosmetologist, right? I got a little certificate to back up the expertise and the skill set that I've had that I've actually been born with. So that's a whole nother story, right? But I got that certificate. Now it's time to be legit. Right. You get your business license, you get your city, state, all the little stuff, taxation. And for some reason in my head, I was thinking that there was a chance I might be denied because I was Black.
Right.
Mind you, I'm already 30 years old. How could I possibly be thinking this way? Right? So every single time I was able to do something as a Black entrepreneur, I was kind of surprised that I didn't have the Black challenges that I thought I was going to have.
Right.
I don't know why I thought that. So to me, it means everything that even though I thought I was going to have those challenges, that I still moved forward. I was still willing to find out.
Right.
And what happened when I went to find out? It was in my favor, God, thank you. They never told me no. God didn't say no. The answer was already yes for me. And that's already something that I know that in my heart that God told me yes. This has been in me, whether or not I was able to express or articulate it. That's the gift that I've been giving now, is to be able to do so. Right? So being a Black entrepreneur means that I have pushed through past my challenges and my fears, and I have pushed past the no's, and that I have made the choice to say, hey, I don't have to be fired from a corporation or a company that don't give a damn about me.
Right.
And then I can push through that. And it doesn't matter if I'm a woman or if I am Black, or if I am short, or if I have my natural hair and it's beautiful locks, or if I don't talk the way somebody else talks, or if I didn't grow up the way they did and I didn't have their resources and I didn't have their money. None of that matters.
Right.
We're going to get to it and we're going to excel and we're going to be right there where God said we're going to be. Right. So we just have to go after it and stay in our lane and stay in our path and don't compare ourselves. Right? This is a new season. We in spring. We is the new Deuce. That's why this is happening. Right. I'm an April baby. My birthday's April 14th. I'm about to be. So thank you for having me on the second day of spring. This is what you brought. Thank you.
You know I got you. You know I got you because you looked out for me. You know what I'm saying? Even when my hair was like this short, and I didn't. And at the time, let me tell y'all, I didn't believe that she could braid my hair with my shit being this short right here, y'all. But she did it. She amazed me with it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm forever grateful for you because you always been my friend. You know, you always giving me encouraging words and lifting my spirit. And I appreciate you so much for that. You know what I mean?
You are so very welcome. And I appreciate you. And thank you for mentioning that. We've always stayed connected in that way. You know what I'm saying? How much time has passed by. We've always been very supportive of each other. And I think that's what's most important, is that no matter what, that we do have each other's back. Right. And no matter where we go, when we see each other, we are still showing that love. You know what I'm saying? Right. Not within ourselves, but to all of us, you know?
Right,
even if you get back, keep doing it because that person might need it.
Exactly. And so let me ask you this. Have you done any celebrities' hair yet? Or you know what I mean?
Ooh, okay. So, I mean, not nobody that like we particularly like know like that. You know what I'm saying? I have done who I would consider little celebrities that, people may not know. I have had people seek me out from afar that they come into town, they say, I have to have Charisma Styles. And I'm like, okay, well, who are you?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. All I know is I heard your name. I'm here right now and I need you. And that has happened a countless number of times. And I haven't even seen those people ever again. You know, they get the referral, and we keep in touch through social media because we've made lasting impressions on each other.
Right.
And I built my business on referrals, Deuce.
Yeah.
I built my business on referrals. So there's that interconnectedness between myself and my clients is very much so personal and something that I absolutely value. And with having coaching clients and clients that I mentor, it's taking it to a whole nother level.
Right.
Okay. Taking the growth to a whole nother level. We was working on hair growth. Now we're working on growth with the mind and the body and the soul and the connection with God. You know what I'm saying? I'm a messenger. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
I ask him every day to use me, and that's all I do. And it's glory to God, and it's not the glory to me. Do you hear me?
I hear you. Ooh, you over there preaching, girl.
That's what's on my heart, and that's the truth. You can call it what you want to, right?
All right, so look. You got 5 celebrities, right? 5 of them. What 5 celebrities' hair and makeover are you doing?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so that is a great question. I'm pretty sure it's going to be men. So probably I would want to do like Chris Brown's hair.
Ooh, okay.
If he had some hair, I would definitely want to do some locks. So probably like Eva, that she's a woman. Another woman I probably want to do her locks would be probably like Chloe, I would want to do their hair. And
the Kardashian?
No. The twin, one of the little yeah, her locks. And but pretty much so I don't have like this fantasy, like a celebrity fantasy of doing the hair, because in my mind it's way more like pressure. I don't think about the amount of money I would attend. I think about how I would feel,
Exactly.
And I don't really fangirl over nobody that I want to do that, but I would probably want to do their hair, because when I see, I'm like, ooh, I could do this or I can do that, just to their hair. But that's it, a particular celebrity.
Yeah, no, I'm with you with that, because I'm the same way. You know what I'm saying? I don't fan over celebrities like that. Like, I've been around celebrities and they don't do anything for me. You know what I mean? Because they all just they're all regular people. They just have a talent that's exposed to way more people. That's it. But they just regular people. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I don't fan over it was only one person I fanned over, and forgive me, it was Trina. I was a little groupie for Trina.
Remember when she came here?
Yeah, that was when I took a little picture with her. But as far as men, I don't care if you're a celebrity or whatever. You just like me, you know what I mean? In my eyes.
Same.
You know what I mean? And so what's next for you?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so what's next for me is literally just a freedom and a peace of mind, divine alignment with every step I take in my path, right. Staying in my heart, not being in my head. Having the mind myself method is my brand, is my company. I have birthed it this year. I have spent thousands in investing in myself to make sure that my expertise is top notch to deliver what God has for me. And the mind myself method is a juicy fusion of beauty and wellness, okay, for your hair and your mind, right. To be interconnected to where you feel good on the inside and outside, right. To where you are growing and you are flourishing and you adopt abundant mindset and a growth mindset that keeps you thriving, because it's all up for the taking.
Right.
Okay. Sometimes we need someone there to give us a new perspective, to ask us questions we didn't know,
Right.
to hold us accountable, to be there for us, to stay consistent, to hold your hand down when we fall. You know what I'm saying? To let you know that we've been in that that situation. And guess what? You don't have to stay down. I got you. I'm here. And if I can do it, you can do it. And it doesn't have to be the way that I did it. There's a countless number of ways that we can get to the solutions so that we can continue to thrive and live in our abundance. Okay. Right. Time you breathe in, Deuce, ain't the air available for you to breathe in? That is abundance.
Right.
And if you can take that concept and put it on every part of your life, that's exactly how you can live.
Right.
Abundance. Just like the air that we breathe, there's nothing that we lack. If you want it, go get it.
Oh, them words right there. and so, you know, for the young women, you know, my daughter's 15, you know, and she's thinking about getting into cosmetology. And I told her, I said, hey, I support you in whatever you want to do, but you have to have that hustle mentality because it's not just going to be given to you. Clients are not just going to be given to you. You have to get out there and hustle. So from you and your point of view, what is some game you can give young women who want to become cosmetologists and want to become hairstylists?
That is a great question. And shout out to you for being in your baby's life and even asking these types of questions for her. So number one, I would say to take their craft seriously, take their passion as something, as their gift that's been given to them, a spark, and to know that that will be fulfilled for them. So number one, believe in themselves, okay? Number two, the beauty industry is a very lucrative industry as long as you drive your passion behind it. You get your credentials, you keep on learning, you keep practicing, and you have, I want to say, have a sense of kind of like who you would like to work with.
Right.
So in a way, in your passion, you're not just scrambling to try to just work with anybody because you won't be self-fulfilled.
Exactly.
Okay. So be your authentic self so you can attract the people that are like you so you can really love the gift that you've been giving.
Right.
It's never possible. Okay. Always work on quality over quantity. So we're not just saying, hey, what can I get out of this? But we are building our expertise, our skill set in our passion. So that's what I would say is, you know, don't be slacking in your macking.
Man, that's very encouraging. I'm gonna definitely let my daughter know that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Karizma, let them know your social medias and where they can follow you and all that.
All right, thank you. My Facebook is KARIZMA STYLEZZ, Karizma Styles. My Instagram is Karizma Styles, the same way. Check me out, you know, click the link, see what you know, if you want to connect with me, I'm here, I'm available. I am a growth mindset coach. I am a master educator. I am a licensed cosmetologist, and I am a healer. So if you want to connect with me, please do. Feel free, send me a DM. And Deuce, just thank you so much for having me and having this conversation with me and asking me questions that no one's asked me. You have me opening up today.
Yeah, you know, and just like I said, I appreciate you. And, you know, we've been friends for a long time. And so it was a no-brainer to have you on my podcast. And I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful for all the advice you've given me and, you know, all the game, all the uplifting you've done for me. And so, you know, blessings to everything that you have going on. You know what I'm saying? And I'm always gonna support you, and whatever you need from me, you already know. You can holler at me. You know what I mean?
Yes, the Mind Myself method, okay? Founder is Karizma Styles. So we are minding ourselves. And are you minding yourself is the question.
Hey, we gonna leave it at that right there, y'all. All right, deuces, we out of here.
Duse make a slash true.